I've had over $15 million of negative attacks by Kyrsten Sinema's campaign and her allies since this started, to include during the primary. I mean, her former campaign manager was running an outside group who used the FEC rules to their favor so that they could hide the fact that it was Chuck Schumer and George Soros and others that were actually spending $2 million against me in the primary. So this is a nice scripted talking point. But the reality is, there's an example of an ad in there from her campaign calling me morally bankrupt. So, I mean, that's pretty bad.
Kyrsten, do you want to respond to some of this?
I do, just a bit. The first thing I want to say is just in response to some of the comments made towards Craig, this is actually really important to me because 2 of my brothers have served in the military and 1 is still on active duty. And I appreciate Martha's service to our country, and I'm grateful that she signed up to serve and has made the same sacrifice that my brothers have made. And for that, I'm very grateful. Where we have a difference of opinion is that Martha believes that when I opposed a war, I opposed the troops. And nothing could be further from the truth. My own brothers have served, and my little brother is currently serving in this war. He's deployed 6 times. I think about him every day.
Do you regret what you said?
I was opposed to that war in 2003, and 15 years later, that war is still going on, and we've lost American lives. Whenever we're going to...
You were just being flip when you talked about the Taliban, or was that...
That was an offhand comment to direct the conversation back to what I wanted to talk about, which was my concerns around this war. I was against the war. 15 years later, I think there were good reasons for that. I want to be clear that I think it is not appropriate to conflate opposing a war with opposing troops, particularly when they happen to be your own family. And this is actually important to me.
About the Taliban could be offensive to people on the ground.
I think understanding the context in which that conversation occurred, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to listen to the tape and heard Mr. Hancock, who's again a very interesting fellow. It was a very difficult conversation. I was really struggling to be able to talk about what I wanted to speak about. And so an offhand comment to get us back on track was what I did to try and talk about the issue. What I'm most concerned about here, and what I think is unfair to the Arizona public, is that Martha has chosen to take bits and pieces and isolated things out of context and make it into a centerpiece of a negative campaign. And I think that's unfortunate. I've chosen to campaign on the issues that matter most to everyday Arizonans. And I travel the state, and as I listen to folks around the state, they're saying the same couple things to me over and over again. They're concerned about health care. They're very concerned about education. They're concerned about jobs and taking care of their families. And that's what my campaign has talked about and what I've been focused on. And I feel like that's what Arizonans deserve.